Hey guys, it's Glenn from glenscarcollection.com, and in this video we're going to discuss, is BMW back? We've all seen the new versions of BMWs, the M340i xDrive that I'm driving as my daily driver. The M2 CS is out now, the new M3, M4, M5 competition, the M8 competition. Is BMW back? We know the last couple of years, probably the last good cars they've made are the E92 M3, the 1 Series M. We know that the best BMWs are the oldest BMWs, the E46 M3, the E39 M5. Then BMW tried to appeal to the masses. See, BMW thinks I'm talking to it, the Siri or whatever you think, here and here. Best BMWs were always the old BMWs, the rear drive, the stick shifts, the real M cars, the hydraulic steering, and that's definitely been lost in subsequent generations of this car. I'm not talking to you, BMW. So, is the M340i xDrive a step in the right direction? Is the M2 CS a step in the right direction? Are the big grills a step in the right direction? Well, you've already seen my video on the new M3 and M4, and that's a gorgeous car. Take the grills aside for a second. It's a beautiful car, and I think you can really hide those grills if you get it in a darker color, like Tanzanite blue that I filmed for that M4, or sapphire black. Even the Isle Man green, I think it hides it better. But I'm telling you, well, let's start with the M340i xDrive that we're driving now, my daily driver. This is a 2020 model. This is a step in the right direction. When I drove this car, when it first came out, I believe that was 2019, it's on the channel. This blew me away as far as just a 3 Series, and I guess it's an M Sport. So now BMW considers this the first level of M car. So it's going to go M Sport, which is the M340i. Then comes the M3, then the M3 competition, then the M3 CS, and then we're going to get a CSL for the first time ever. So there's really 5 levels of M car now. And as far as a 3 Series goes, or an M Sport, as BMW calls it, this car is phenomenal. I mean, is the new M3, M4 better? Yeah. But this is so much better than the last 3 Series. I haven't liked the 3 Series since the E90. I think the last generation looked great, but it didn't drive so great. It's more like a quick luxury car, you know, and I think BMW, because so many people just want BMWs, it didn't really appeal to the enthusiasts anymore, and I think this car does. I mean, we're in Sport Plus now, you can hear the sound. I'm sure the sound is enhanced, but I get compliments from people driving behind me who said, wow, your car sounds great, I'm impressed. And I'm really impressed with the handling in this car, I really am. The motor is fantastic. There you go. So on downshifts here, we're driving in Sport Plus and in manual mode. So I have an 8-speed torque converter automatic. Unfortunately, that is the only, I think that was a police officer. I think that is the only transmission available. But it is a really quick shifting 8-speed torque converter automatic. I have the optional heads-up display. Like I've said in every single video, the downside here are these all-season run-flat tires. The tires are just, besides being all seasons and run flats, those are horrible. I have the all-wheel drive version, which is the xDrive. You can get a rear drive version. You can order rear drive. Here, dealers...
Watch out, object on road ahead.
Thank you, Waze. I always use Waze and a radar detector. But here, if you buy off the showroom floor, it's always going to be an all-wheel drive. You can order rear drive. You can order summer tires. Probably if I did it again, it was a lease, so I didn't really want to spend the money, and I'm just tired of changing tires all the time like I had to with the Audi S8. I've had 8 BMW M cars, so I figured, you know what, let me just run with, it's only a daily driver. Let's run with the all-season run flats. But I'm really, really impressed with these cars. I wish it had wider rear tires. It's just, they're just too skinny, which makes it great in the snow. I had no problems in the snow this year, and we got a lot of it. But, and of course, dedicated winter tires would be better, especially under braking. You definitely will notice the difference with braking with the, let's downshift here. Tunnel. You definitely notice the braking difference. That was probably the one detriment, hitting the brakes with these all-season tires during a snowstorm. So in a perfect world, if you can spend the money and you don't mind changing it twice a year, get the summer tires, and then put optional winter tires, get your own wheels, steel wheels or something, and usually that works pretty well. But I'm really impressed with this car. We'll try to run up a lot of miles. I've been working from home, so I typically only leave the house during the week for showings or to look at buildings for clients. So I'm not doing my usual 40 mile or 20 mile each way commute on top of that. So we're way under the miles, but believe me, I drive like 30,000 miles a year. So even though this car, probably more than that, doing the YouTube reviews and these drives is probably 40,000 miles a year. So we only lease this for 12. So I have a feeling, you know, once everything's back to normal, which will be soon, the miles will come on very quickly. I like the Apple CarPlay here. It's wireless. The only thing is obviously running your phone battery down, so I always plug it in here. You put the transmission here to the left, and then allows you to use the paddles. And the paddles are good. They're a good size. I always would like better paddles. They're attached to the steering wheel, not to the steering column. I probably prefer the column, but then obviously you need the big paddles like the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio, so when your hands turn, you could still get to those paddles. But for what I do here, it actually works really well. Your navigation, so this is Waze. Your regular navigation would come out here, the song you're playing and everything. Gets really good gas mileage. So I'm really impressed with this car. And the most impressive thing is how well it handles. I figured, just imagine how good it would handle with the summer tires. Thanks for watching.